but do not put them in. Open, shut them, to your shoulders fly. Then like little birdies, let them flutter to the sky. Falling, 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 almost to the ground. Quickly pick them up again and turn them round and round. Faster, faster. Slower, slower, slower. Open, shut them, give a little clap. Open, shut them, put them in your lap. Okay, we're all set now to start our first story. It's called The Night Before Christmas. Some of you probably know this story, so maybe you can help. You can help me tell it. Okay, let's put everything down here, and we'll have that story later. Okay? 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eye should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick.
St. Nick is Santa Claus.
St. Nick is Santa Claus. That's right. Could everyone sit down, please, so that everyone can see the story? Could you sit down? And we'll look at the little reindeer later. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. Okay, can everyone sit down, please, so that we can hear the story?
Where's Rudolph?
Rudolph isn't in this story, I guess.
Daddy.
Oh, is that Rudolph? Okay. With a sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas, too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of his pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face. What? Yes, that's the smoke from his pipe. And a round little belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a nod of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying a finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, that's magic. Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
I want to do this.
Okay, why don't we all, does anyone want to stand up for a minute? Can we all stand up and have a little stretch? Okay, stretch up high. Oh, good. You do head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes, head and shoulders, knees and toes, eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. Boy, getting my eyes and ears mixed up today. Okay, do you all want to sit down now? That's to show me where to sit. Okay. Sit down. Here are Santa's glasses, and here is Santa's hat. And this is the way he folds his hands and puts them in his lap. Okay, are we all ready for another story now? Excuse me, let's put these down. Okay, everyone right down on your bottoms. Can you sit right down on your bottoms?
That's one I can see.
This story is called Where's Prancer? And it's by Sid Hoff. It was early in the morning when Santa Claus returned to the North Pole after his big trip around the world. I'm tired, and I guess you are too, he said to the reindeer. So suppose you get to the stable, and I'll see you all later. Santa went into the house and had a nice hot cup of tea. Then he put 8 fresh carrots in a basket and took them out to the stable. Here, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and Vixen, he said. Here, Comet, Cupid, Donder, and Blitzen. Here's a nice carrot for each of you. Okay, I want everyone to put those down. Excuse me, can you bring those back, please? The wire. There was 1 carrot left over. 1 reindeer is missing, said Santa. Who is it? It isn't I, said Dasher. It isn't I, said Dancer. It isn't I, said Vixen. It isn't us either, said Comet, Cupid, Donder, and Blitzen. It's Prancer, said Santa. Where can he be? He was with us in Australia, said Dasher. He was with us in Sweden, said Dancer. You have to go sit down, okay, on the floor, and then maybe you can see. He was with us in the Philippine Islands, said Vixen. He was also with us in Ottawa, said Comet, Cupid, Donder, and Blitzen. Keep thinking, boys, said Santa. Everybody knows I have to have 8 reindeer. The telephone rang. Maybe it's Prancer, cried Santa. It was only a wrong number. There was a knock on the door. Maybe it's Prancer, cried Santa. It was only a walrus knocking the ice off his flippers. We remember, said the reindeer. It was Moncton. That was the last place we saw him. Quick to the sleigh, shouted Santa. There isn't a second to lose. In the twinkling of an eye, they were in Moncton. Spread out now and look, said Santa. Dasher went up Main Street, but all he saw was a cat. Dancer went up Queen Street, but all he saw was a dog. I know, I see it. Vixen went into Centennial Park, but all he saw was a squirrel. Comet and Cupid met at City Hall. A fine structure, said Comet. Yes, said Cupid, but where's Prancer? Can you sit down so you can see? Here he is, shouted Donder. That's only a reflection, said Blitzen. A police car drove up. A reindeer was just reported on Highfield Street. Did you lose one? Asked the policeman. Yes, said Santa. Thank you. We'll go and get him. Sure enough, there was Prancer. Where have you been, said Santa. We were worried about you. I just wanted to see how people look on Christmas Day, said Prancer. We always get here the night before. Let's all see, said Santa. They saw many happy faces and were glad they had helped make them that way. And then Santa said, now we must go home. Prancer sat with Santa and enjoyed the ride. Once more, Santa made himself a nice hot cup of tea, and once more he took 8 fresh carrots out to the stable. This time there was none left. Merry Christmas, said Santa. Okay, can you please give those to me and we'll...
I want to read this one.
Okay, we're going to read that one. Can everyone come and sit down, please? Okay, you're not supposed to be up here. Everyone's supposed to be sitting on the floor. Let's have a little song. Do you all know Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Yeah.
Okay, I brought a little Rudolph. See the Rudolph? He's got a nice red nose, doesn't he?
I'm going to be Santa Claus.
No, I'm going to use them all, okay? See them all? And here's all the other reindeer. There. There, we're going to put all, here's the reindeer, and I'm going to keep Santa right here. Okay, can everyone sing? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw him, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then all the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, he'll go down in history. Can you wiggle your fingers? Everyone wiggle their fingers. 5 little sausages frying in a pan. All of a sudden, one went bang. 4 little sausages frying in a pan. All of a sudden, one went bang. 3 little sausages frying in a pan. All of a sudden, one went bang. 2 little sausages frying in a pan. All of a sudden, one went bang. 1 little sausage frying in a pan. All of a sudden, it went bang. And there were no sausages left. Now we will have a story called...
Charlie Brown.
No, it's called Socks for Supper. That's right.
I have that book.
By Jack Kent.
I have that book.
Do you have this book? Okay, everyone sit down so we can all see. In a faraway place, in a long time ago, there lived an old man and his wife. They were very poor. All they had was a tumble-down house and a tiny turnip garden. One day he said to his wife, "One can get tired of eating nothing but turnips." Do you think you'd get tired if you had to eat turnips every day? Would you get tired of turnips? Now, far away, there lived a couple who had a cow. The old man and his wife used to look at the cow and dream of milk and cheese. Everyone sit down, please. Sit down on your bums. That's it. Maybe they'll sell us some, said the old man. We don't have any money, his wife reminded him. Perhaps we could trade them something for some milk, said the old man. Perhaps we could, his wife agreed, and they searched the house for something to trade. They looked and looked, but the only thing they could find that wasn't in pieces or tatters was a pair of socks. The old man took the socks and went to see the couple who had the cow. A little while later, he came happily home again with a bucket of milk and a small cheese. "Oh, this is so good," said his wife. It wasn't long before they began to wish they had some more, but they didn't have any more socks to trade. "I will knit some," said the old woman. But she didn't have any yarn. So she unraveled part of the old man's sweater and knitted a pair of socks with that. They again traded the socks for milk and cheese, and they feasted as they did before. When it was all gone, the old woman knitted another pair of socks, and then once more the old man traded them for milk and cheese. Yum! When that was gone, the old lady started knitting again. But there was now only enough yarn left for one sock. "What good is one sock?" the old woman asked. "They won't trade any milk or cheese for that." "We'll see," said the old man, and he took the sock to the couple with the cow. "I only have half a pair of socks this time," he said. "Would you trade half a bucket of milk and half a cheese for it?" "Oh, no, that is not necessary," said the farmer. "You see," said the farmer's wife, "one sock is exactly what I need." She was knitting her husband a sweater for Christmas. She'd gotten the yarn for it by unraveling the socks, and she needed. 'Needed just one more to finish the sweater. but the sweater didn't fit. So she gave it to the old man, for she had noticed that he didn't have one. And it was just the right size. Yes, that's right, it was. It was his sweater, and it was just the right size for him. Does everyone know Jingle Bell?
Hi.
Hi. Would you like to sing? Jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. We're going to sing some more. Okay. Okay, is everyone ready? Everyone sit down. Oh, we put them over there. Okay, thank you. Everyone sit down. What are the cameras for? They're to take pictures. Okay, everyone put your hands together. I am atop all wound up tight. I'll whirl and whirl with all my might. Now the whirls are out of me, and I'll be as quiet as can be. Everyone be very quiet. Good. Okay, we have one more story today, and it's called Mog's Christmas.
When's that move from the old?
One day, Mog woke up, and nothing was right in her house. Everybody was busy. Debbie was busy. Nicky was busy. Mr. and Mrs. Thomas were busy. And there were too many people in the house. There was a jolly uncle and 2 aunts on tippy-toe. Mog thought, I don't like it here. She went and sat outside on the windowsill. There was nothing to do and no one to play with. So after a while, she went back to sleep. Suddenly, she woke up. She saw something. It was a tree. It was a tree walking. Mog thought, trees don't walk. Trees should stay in one place. Once trees start walking about, anything might happen. So she ran up the side of the house in case the tree should come and get her. Come down, shouted the tree. First it walks, thought Maud, and now it is shouting at me. I do not like that tree at all. And she ran right up to the roof. The tree went on shouting for a while. Then it went into the house. Mog stayed on the roof. Some white things fell out of the sky. Some fell on the roof, and some fell on Mog. They were very cold. What was falling on her?
Snow!
At supper time, Mog was still on the roof. She must have her supper, said Debbie. Mog always has her supper. Mrs. Thomas gave Mog her supper. But still, Mog did not come down. In the morning, Mog did not come down either. She had found a nice tall place, and she was asleep. She was having a lovely dream. Yes. Mog, we'll tie it later, okay? Mog dreamed that she was sitting on a cloud. Some white things were falling out of the sky. Mog tried to catch them. She was very happy. But suddenly, the cloud began to melt. Inside the house, everyone was sad because Mog would not come down. They were too sad to eat their breakfast. Even the jolly uncle was sad, and one of the aunts cried. Suddenly, there was a noise. It was a noise in the chimney, and then something came down it. It came right down the chimney and fell into the fireplace with a thump. It's Father Christmas, cried one of the aunts. No, dear, said the other aunt. Father Christmas does not have a tail. It's Mog, cried Debbie. Mog had to have a bath. But then everything was lovely. The whole house was lovely. The tree had stopped walking about and had made itself all pretty. And Mog...
How it walk?
Oh, Mog had 3 boiled eggs and some turkey and a present to unwrap. You're wondering how the tree walked? It just looked like, it wasn't really walking. It just kind of looked like it was walking because someone was carrying it. I'll show you the picture again. See, the person carrying it was behind it, and she couldn't see that person, so she thought the tree was walking. Happy Christmas, Mog, said Debbie. And that's the end. Does anyone know the song, We Wish You a Merry Christmas?
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
We